Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be as bad, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. It means that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up? Happy Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Easter Monday. Good morning. So y'all, this is not gonna be long, but baby, this was breaking news. I woke up and it was dead. And I was gonna wait and just do a full tribe meeting, but then I was like, it ain't really much else going on, so we'll talk about it for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to whatever we need to move on to. So come on in, everybody. What Abby say? I need to know if it's Michelle. It's not Michelle. It is not Michelle. I'm surprised Abby even know who Shannon Sharpe is, much less Michelle. So good job. What's up, Cruz? I caught you live this morning. I'm gonna give you a call a little bit later on, child. Not I'm crying right now, not child. Well, listen, it is just a lawsuit. It is just an accusation. It does not mean it's true. It does not mean it's even gonna go any further. Y'all know how these things go. We've been covering these types of lawsuits for about a year now. So, and I'm not going to read the lawsuit. I do not have the lawsuit. Y'all know Tracy on vacation. Y'all know Tracy wasn't on vacation. I probably would have the lawsuit, but we're going to read through this article. We're going to read through this article, okay? And let's get into it. No, not in a bad way. No, I just because I hadn't talked to you since you went on your weekend. That's all. I know, nothing bad. Nothing bad at all. I was going to ask if it was Michelle with the Shay have it going on. Okay. I know KFC, IFC, UFC, Lakers, and 5. Oh, okay then. Okay. You stop watching to work this live. We ain't going to be, you stop working to watch this live, Lord. Well, we're not going to be here long. Let's get into it. I'm going to read y'all this article. For those who do not know who Shannon Sharpe is a retired NFL player. He's a Hall of Famer who has sort of found a second life doing, in the media. He's found a second life in the media. He has Club Shay Shay. He has Nightcap with what that he does with Ocho Cinco. He is on ESPN. He has a liquor brand. He's got a lot going on. And honestly, because of if you follow him and if you follow him and you follow Club, Nightcap and the conversations that they have over on Nightcap, honestly, I'm not saying I think the allegations are true. I'm just saying I'm not surprised at the allegations. He is very open and vocal about his sex life and all of those things. And that doesn't mean he's guilty. And that doesn't mean people can't talk about their sex life. But if you don't watch the Nightcap, then if you watch the Nightcap, then I think you'll understand what I mean by he's open and vocal. And then of course he had that viral moment last year where he was on live having sexual relations with a woman named Michelle. Now he claimed that he accidentally hit the live button. For anybody who's ever gone live on Instagram, I'm just going to say it was a suspect thing. You got to hit a couple of buttons to get to the live button on Instagram. If you're in the middle of having sex, there are a couple of things that you got to do to get to the live button on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Your phone is locked, maybe not. So you got to put your password in. Then you got to hit the app for Instagram. Then you got to hit the button. Then you got to hit the live button. Then you got to go live. It's a lot. Now, I ain't saying it's impossible, because he may have been having sex and doing something else on his phone, because people do. Which is actually part of this lawsuit that this young lady is alleging. Now, first of all, she's anonymous. So she's anonymous. Yeah, it's a bunch of steps. But anyway, so let's read through this article and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe made headlines last week in connection with his pursuit of a 9-figure podcast deal. This week, he's facing a 8-figure lawsuit. So yeah, last week they were talking about that he was selling looking for a deal for his podcast, and he was looking for a $9 million figure. I mean, y'all know what I'm saying, a 9-figure deal. And I'm gonna be honest. Well, I'll come back to that. Well, let me say it because I forget. I kind of pulled away a little bit from Shannon Sharpe. I like Shannon Sharpe. I always supported Shannon Sharpe, but lately, I don't know. Like the last couple of interviews he did on his club Shay Shay were questionable for me. Yeah, were questionable for me. Not he just wanted people to know he sleep with women. I know a lot of people keep saying that, but and again, I don't know this man from a hole in the wall. But honestly, I never thought he cared that much. But maybe he does. I mean, I don't know how people think in their private life, but I just didn't think he cared that much. Sharpe was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in a Nevada state court alleges that Sharpe committed assault, actual assault, battery, and actual battery, and that he engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. The plaintiff claims that they embarked on a rocky but consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The complaint alleges that Sharpe recorded, which is why I said maybe he did have the phone in his hand and he hit the wrong button, because she's alleging that he would record their sexual activities, something done without her knowledge, and that he was sharing the videos with others without her permission or knowledge. The complaint contends that it was another woman, not the plaintiff, with whom Sharpe was having sex with when he accidentally, they put that in air quotes, accidentally live streamed the encounter on Instagram. That was per the complaint, the moment at which the plaintiff began to pull away from Sharpe. The complaint claims that he relentlessly pursued her after she stopped answering the phone or sharing her whereabouts. The complaint contends that Sharpe confronted the plaintiff in October of 2024 after she had commenced efforts to separate from him. The complaint details the ensuing encounter, which culminated in allegedly forcible sex against her consent. Another alleged incident happened in January of 2025. The complaint alleges that Sharpe engaged in unprotected sex with the plaintiff despite her efforts to get him to either stop or to wear a condom. From the first page of the complaint, from the first page of the complaint, a woman can say yes to consensual relations with a man 99 times. But when she says no even once, no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than him, and repeatedly threatened to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer of no and RAPE'd the plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. The complaint seeks a minimum of $50 million per Sharpe. If there was a trial, the recovery, if any, would determined by a jury based on the evidence of the law. The plaintiff, now here's the part, y'all. The plaintiff is represented by Micah Nash and Tony Busby. Now, we know Tony Busby very well over here. Allegedly, the woman, the Jane Doe, said that she was 19 years old when she started dating Shannon Sharpe, who was in his 50s. Yes, 50 million American dollars. She alleges that her and Shannon, she was 19, so that would make her 20, 21 now, I guess. She said, stop is also no. Absolutely. Stop is also no. And if you are in the middle of getting ready to have sex and you tell him to stop to put a condom on and he refuses, then at that point you have withdrawn your consent. You have withdrawn your consent. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Y'all know how I always try to use my deductive reasoning when we're going through these things, right? So let me say this. The first thing I'm going to say is, in her lawsuit, she alleges that he made videos of her without her permission and shared them. So my question is that how you know that he made these videos without your permission? Did somebody let you know that they got a copy of the video or they had seen you? I mean, and I'm just throwing questions out. I'm just throwing questions out, y'all. I mean, is that what's happening here? Like, because that's again, y'all know how I think when I'm reading through these lawsuits, that's a very specific accusation. So it makes me think, do you have proof of that? Because that's very specific to say, hey, he videotaped me without my permission. Because now you got to prove that he didn't have your permission, but then he shared them out to other people. That shouldn't be hard to prove if these videos do exist. And who did he send them to? And I'm wondering, did one of his friends let you know? Because y'all know how men are, especially if Shannon Sharpe is saying, oh, she just a jump off. She ain't really my girl. She just somebody that I roll with when I come through Vegas. She just somebody that I hit up when I'm in Vegas. I could easily see one of his homies being like, yo, you was looking real good last week. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how men do. And just because they're older does not make them any smarter. Okay? Below said, I bet you bottom dollar that she like this and not like this. Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah. Even though he says he dates a little bit of everybody. We know that his children's mother is black. But again, I'm with you on that one when you're right. My guess is that it's going to be settled and hushed. My guess, you know what, Cruiser? I'm going to say this. I can see it going one or two ways, and I'm going to tell you why. I can see it being settled and being hushed. However, and Jay-Z has sort of set a tone when it comes to these lawsuits if you have the money to fight them, right? Jay-Z just spanked the hell out of Busby. Busby right now is a little wounded. He's fighting, this defamation lawsuit against Jay-Z. His name has sort of been smeared at the very least in the court of public opinion, his name is sort of smeared. I could see Jay-Z I could see Shannon Sharpe calling up Jay-Z's attorney saying, look, give me a little bit of what you gave Jay-Z. Jay-Z a billionaire. Give me the millionaire version of what you gave Jay-Z. I could see him doing that. I'm going to be honest with you. If it were me, that's what I would do. If it were me, and this was my situation, and I had the money, that's exactly what I would do. I would call Jay-Z's attorneys, and I would say, listen, Busby coming for me too. Give me a little bit of what you gave him. Now, I ain't no billionaire with a B, but I'm a millionaire with an M. I can pay the bill. I just need you to pop him a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But if this were not Tony Busby and this were a different climate and Jay-Z hadn't just done what he did, I would probably say the same thing, that I see them just doing a settlement. But based on the attorney and based on what's going on with this particular attorney right now, if I had the money, I would fight it. Now, I will say this. It depends on how guilty you are, Shannon. And I ain't saying he is. I'm just saying it depends on who this woman is in real life and what this woman could or could not have. I mean, if this is somebody that you did have sex with, whether, and I'm sure he's going to say consensual, so that's fine. But if this is somebody that you consensually had sex with, if this woman really was truly 19 when you started sleeping with her, if you did take video of this woman, whether it was with or without her permission, and if you did share those videos with any of your friends, now, I'm not going to get into whether y'all had consensual sex or not, because, again, really don't nobody know but the two of y'all. Nobody knows whether she said no or not but the two of y'all. I'm not saying I believe one way, but nobody knows except for the two of y'all whether she said no or not. So there's that. As far as the physical assault, again, nobody knows whether you put your hands on that woman unless she took pictures. Unless she took pictures, nobody knows whether you put your hands on that woman or not, right? But those are things that can be proven. And in the court of public opinion, it ain't gonna be a good look. In the court of public opinion, it's not gonna be a good look. Shannon, if that woman really truly is 19 years old or was 19 when y'all met and you were and it was 2 years ago and you were in your mid-50s 2 years ago, that ain't a good look. It's just not. Again, we're talking about the court of public opinion. Because remember, y'all, this is a civil lawsuit. There ain't no legal here. This is a civil lawsuit. Although, I will say this. If the incident happened in October of 2024 and January of 2025, there's no statute of limitations. I mean, the statute of limitations isn't up. Why didn't you file a criminal? Why you file a police report? It's a criminal act, but I'm saying she's suing him civilly. She's not suing him criminally. I mean, she didn't file a police report that we know of. But y'all know, like I know, if she had gone down to the Las Vegas Police Department and filed a police report, baby, that thing would have been headline news. Oh, that's your first question. I got you, Quake. I got you. She's young enough to be his baby. She's young enough to be his well, maybe not quite a granddaughter, but close. But definitely his daughter. He's got children older than that. All of his kids are grown. All of his kids are over 19. Des Hop says, Shannon cares. I'm sure that's a typo somewhere in there or autocorrect. The way he talks about Meg Thee Stallion tells me he doesn't give a F about the public opinion when it comes to how he treats women. The statute of limitation has run out. Right. That's what Abby said. The statute of limitation hasn't run out. So where's the police report, Bookie? It's the Bookie for me. I thought I just read the lady was in her early 30s. I read the lady was 19. Let me go back. I read the lady was 19. Hold on. Let me go back. Because I believe it was hold on. Because it wasn't in that article I just read, but I believe it was in the TMZ that I read. Hold on. Here it is. Shannon Sharpe has just been sued, plaintiff in the case, obtained, year-long, abusive. Here it is right here. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old. Okay, I said 19, she was 20. And he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake... I should have read the TMZ one. He would buy her fake titties if she won a weight loss competition with him. What? Shannon told her he would buy her fake titties if she won a weight loss competition with him. Okay. She wrote in the suit that Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated that she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule and at his command whenever he called. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her. I should have read this one. Hold on, y'all. That terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case. The doc stated, but Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I'm... Now, see, y'all, I got to use some common sense when it comes to some of this stuff. He said, she said that she tried sharing her location. Ma'am, you don't have to try to share your location. If you can literally share your location from anywhere in the world. You said you tried sharing your location, but then he got violent with you. I'm not blaming her, y'all. I'm just saying, when I read through these things, this is how my brain be working sometimes, okay? He told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. The two, nevertheless, continued their relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram Live streaming incident in which she tied him to... Wait a minute. Was she... Hold on. Sorry, I had a pop-up, y'all. Sorry. In which she said led to him R-ing her. Doe claimed in her suit the first instance happened in October 24 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Bowl Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January 2025. Doe claims Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently assaulted her once more. Oh, is that how you do it on? So on Android, it's harder to do? Because on an iPhone, you literally just have to go into your settings and share your location with the people you want to share your location with. It's not that. It's really not. It's really not that hard. Because I literally have had people that started sharing their location with me that I didn't ask them to, and I was like, "Why are you sharing your location with me? Why are you telling me where you are? I don't need to know." But if it's different on Android, then I don't know, because I've never had an Android, so I don't know how you do it on Android. But I know literally on a phone, like I can sit right here and share my location with Ebby, and y'all will never know what I'm doing. I don't, and Ebby doesn't need to give me permission. I literally, because she's in my phone as a contact, I literally can just go boop boop boop, and next thing you know, Ebby knows my location. Now she on her end can refuse and block it if she doesn't want to. But on my end, I can share my location with my whole phone book in my phone with literally 2 or 3 buttons. You can do it through text too. Yeah, I mean, it's not. So that's, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that makes this woman a liar. I'm just saying sometimes I think people be and maybe it did happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. But what I'm saying is if you were so inclined, if you were so afraid that you felt like you needed to share your location with your friends because you were with this man, and he threatened you with bodily harm or whatever. First of all, maybe that was your clue that this wasn't the person you needed to be in relationship with. But I know that when it comes to relationships and people of the heart and young people, and I'm not going to judge that either. Because we all know that women and men stay in relationships where the red flags are waving like this. The red flags are doing this, okay? So I understand that. But what I am saying is, then you could have went to the bathroom and did it. That when you went home the next day, you could have done it. Like, there were a lot of ways you could have done it. if that's what you were trying to do. Because if you were so scared that you never even tried again, even when you weren't in that man's presence, again, the red flag is beyond waving. Not defending him or her, but people are being set up by sharing locations. That's a Tam, that's valid. It's valid to say maybe he was worried about her sharing her location because he was worried about people coming to his home or having his address. Valid. That's valid, right? His response, if that's true, what his response was a lie. But that's a valid statement. That is very valid. Maybe he got hold of her phone before she could do it. But at some point, she went home. At some point, she left with her phone. But again, I hear what y'all are saying. But at some point, she left. She didn't say he kept her in the dungeon until she got out. At some point, she left. I'm going to just say this. There are parts of this that I believe could be true, and there are parts of this that I believe could be exaggerated to prove a point. And there are parts of this that nobody will know other than the two of them. I can definitely see some of this story. I can see both sides. Probably left with a fancy bag. Oh, I'm sure she did. That's why she let him come back. If that's true, what she said about January, that's why she let him come back over there in January, because he said he had gifts for her. And I'm sure in her mind, she was seeing Louis, Gucci, Prada. She was seeing jewelry, maybe even some cash. I'm certain that if that part of the story is true, if somebody says, well, why would she let him back over? That's why, because he told her, I got a birthday or Christmas gift for you. And he probably had given her nice gifts in the past. And she was like, ooh, I'm about to get that new Chanel. I'm about to get that new Fendi, that new Gucci, Prada, whatever. About to get me some jewelry. Things like this always intrigue me when they come out. He's shopping his podcast around right now. Nitwit, thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to bring that up too. It's very suspect to me that this story breaks just as he's shopping his podcast around. And again, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out, y'all. I'm throwing stuff out. It doesn't matter, Danielle. I'm just throwing stuff out, y'all. I'm just throwing it out. Those who have been victim of assault do not talk right away. Sometimes never. Sometimes when they finally acknowledge and deal with the trauma. Absolutely. Absolutely. Manipulation is a part of the R word. Absolutely. And listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I think either one. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Do I think parts of this, based on what Shannon Sharpe has told us about who he is and how he moves, do I think parts of this could possibly be true? Sure, they could be. Sure, that could be. I'm not saying that mean they are true, y'all. I'm saying I could see with some, and again, it also depends on what type of evidence she has. What I do know is, that lawsuit was only 13 pages long, which tells me it ain't a whole lot of evidence in there. We done read enough lawsuits to know when they add all this evidence, we know they be 50 pages long, 30 pages long. For that lawsuit to be 13 pages long, that is a very minimal lawsuit. By the time they go through who she's suing, I'm sure she's suing all of his entities, all of his LLCs and companies, media companies. I'm sure she's suing anything that he owns. They got to do venue, and then she's giving her narrative. Her narrative probably lasts 5 or 6 pages. So that lawsuit doesn't sound like it's very thick. One's personal experiences aren't someone else's truth, so I don't get that as well. One's personal experiences aren't someone else's truth, so I don't get that as well. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, y'all are talking to each other. Never mind. Y'all are talking. You and Des Hopper having a conversation. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying that he's guilty or innocent. I am saying that I think that. Do I think that this is somebody he probably had a relationship? Yeah, I don't think this is somebody that just came out of nowhere. I do think this is somebody that he's had a relationship with and that he knows. I believe that. I believe this is somebody he knows and somebody he's had a relationship with. And I believe her age is probably legit because, I mean, hell, that's that's so easy to prove or disprove. So I believe that her age is probably legit. We will see. At this point, as of right before I went live, he has not made a statement, nor has an attorney for him made a statement. I'm sure if he's smart, and I know Cruz have been saying in the chat that he ain't that smart and he ain't that disciplined. But if he is smart, we're gonna put the if there, the I and the F. If he is smart, then he won't say shit. He'll let his attorney speak for him. If he's smart right now, he's on the phone with a very good attorney, or this morning or whenever he found out, because certainly he found out before we did, that he's on a he's made some really he's working and making calls to the right people, and he's willing to spend the money in the right places. And I mean, as much as we would love to hear his side of the story, we probably won't until his attorney responds to the lawsuit. And the response, I think they have, I don't know what the state of Nevada is, but generally they have 30 days to respond. Generally, I think is what it is. So we probably won't know anything until he responds. I would be surprised if he spoke on it. I mean, other than to just say it ain't true. Like, I would be surprised if he said anything more than it's not true. You know what I mean? We'll probably get that generic response. I deny anything in there. But I'm with you, Cruiser. If he's smart, he just won't say nothing. But I'm with you. He probably will open up his mouth and say something stupid. Now he probably wears socks during sex. I'm not saying that. You know what, Cruiser? Kawale said, I'm still gonna watch Nightcap tonight to look if listen, right. And can I tell you something? Okay, so I haven't been watching Club Shay Shay because his last couple of interviews, I just wasn't feeling them. I didn't watch the Bobby Brown interview because I kind of feel like I already knew everything that was said. I don't think there was any major revelation in that Bobby Brown interview because I'm a New Edition stan from way back. I probably don't watch every interview, TV show. I don't think it was too much that Bobby Brown could have said that I didn't know. But he did an interview with Andrew. What's his name? Andrew Schiff, that comedian that's racist. Didn't understand why you would give him your platform, so I wasn't feeling that. And then he did the interview with like a bunch of rappers and stuff who I don't know these people, so I'm really not interested. And I'm not talking about like the Meg Thee Stallions. But I mean like, what was it? Gucci Mane's. I don't know these people, and so I really wasn't. Andrew Schultz. Yeah, I don't know these people, so I really wasn't. I didn't care. So I didn't really watch his last couple of interviews. If I'm being honest, I think the last one I watched might have been Damon Wayans, which was interesting. Damon Wayans is like very zen these days. And remember he teased us a part 2 to the Cat Williams interview that we never got. Remember he kept teasing it. He never came right out and said he had it, but he kept teasing it. And we were like, so where the interview at? But it was Andrew, it was that comedian, and it was somebody else. It was like he did 2 interviews back to back that I was like, why are you interviewing these people? I know it was the Andrew guy, the racist comedian, and it was somebody else. And the comments, like, you read through the comments, all the comments was like, Amber Rose, thank you, that's who it was. It was Amber Rose, and it was Andrew, yes, it was those 2. And baby, the comments was tearing him up. Baby, them comments was tearing them up. But Nightcap stopped showing up in my it stopped showing me that they were live. And I used to watch Nightcap, especially during football season. Baby, I watched Nightcap religiously. And all of a sudden, but I will say this, and we're gonna get off of here now, but how many people your YouTube feed is messed up? Because baby, when I tell y'all my YouTube feed is jacked up, I don't hardly see anybody that I'm actually subscribed to. And it's always the people that I am subscribed to. It's always the same people that they show me. Like they show me the same people. It stopped your feed too? Okay, because I thought they were on hiatus. I said, damn. I said they must have went on, because I knew they went on vacation after the Super Bowl. I know they took a break after the Super Bowl. But I said, damn, they must be on an extended vacation because I had not seen them. It had not come up on my, and out of sight, out of mind, because it wasn't football season. And I watch basketball, but I'm not as avid about the NBA as I am about the NFL. So honestly, I just kind of went on the other stuff. But then I started seeing all these clips on TikTok, and I was like, where are all these clips coming from with Funny Marco and all of that? And I was like, when are they going live? And I went over there and I saw that they had been going live all this time. And so I looked, and YouTube had changed my settings. So I was still subscribed, but it wasn't set to notifications. So I had to turn my notifications back on, and guess what? I'm still not getting them. I turned my notifications back on for Club Chat, for Nightcap, and I'm still not getting them. So I don't know what YouTube got going on, but there are so many people, because like I'm subscribed to so many people, and I do not get their notifications. And then I get notifications for people that I need to unsubscribe from. I'll be like, why am I getting this person's notification? Anyway, Nightcap still is on after football season. They just focus on. Yeah, I know, Lauren. That's what I'm saying. But they did take a vacation after the Super Bowl. They did take a little break. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. But anyway, let me get off of here, y'all. I'm trying to decide if I want to run down here to this good grocery store and get me some crab legs. It's 1:00. I said I would do a watch along for Beyond the Gate. So if I decide to go, I better go on down there now, huh? I have to keep hitting do not recommend some of the channels that are showing me. Yeah. It's just weird. YouTube really changed some stuff because I'm not the only one. We've been talking about this for a minute. That a lot of people have been complaining about all of the things. Did you have your cake? I did, and it was nasty, El Michelle. You know what? And Cruz, I'm about to call you in a few minutes because I think I am going to run down here to this good grocery store, child. But anyway, me and Cruz were talking about that. Baby, I went and got that cake, and it was nasty. It was so nasty. Now, because I had bought it, my dumb ass kept eating some of it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I ate the cake. But it just never got good. Like, I was like, well, maybe it'll be better tomorrow. It wasn't. So I basically just ate a little bit of the icing and kept it going. And I said, I got to get this thing out of my house. What I should have done was pour some detergent, some laundry detergent, some soap detergent or something on it and ruined it so I wouldn't keep dipping into it because it was so nasty. And then yesterday, for Easter dinner, my aunt had a rum cake, and I went to eat a piece of that, and it wasn't good. So the good thing is, I think through Lent, the Lord didn't change my taste buds. Because remember, I kept telling y'all that one of my biggest problems was sweets. Remember, I kept telling y'all that. And I think the Lord took that away from me, y'all. And I ain't even being funny. I'm being so serious when I say that. That cake was so nasty. It was, and that was one of my favorite bakeries, and that cake was nasty. I wasted all that money. Miss B, when you come to New York City, I'll bake for you, and bakers, check your eggs. Ooh, check your eggs, y'all. All right, y'all, but we're going to get off here. I didn't want to come down here for too long. Child, my first meal out, I picked through it. Right! I think the Lord then took that, and I'm not saying I'll never, ever eat a cake again, but that desire where I felt like I just had to have something sweet, I just think that's gone. And when I went to the grocery store the other day, I bought some watermelon, and I ain't ate none of it yet, but I'll probably eat some of that watermelon today. All right, y'all, let me get off of here so I can run down to the I think I'm gonna run down here and get me some crab legs. I got a gift card. I'm gonna finish using up the rest of this gift card because I don't have no business going down to this grocery store and buying nothing. But I do need some pods for my dishwasher pods. And I like zucchini cake. Well, zucchini bread actually. As we say in church, the Lord done took the taste out of my mouth. It sure did. He sure did. I'm gonna run down. I think I'm gonna give me some crab legs and get some laundry, some pods, and something else I need. Butter. I need some butter. All right, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. If I'm back in time, we'll do Beyond the Gates, but I'm not sure. If not, I'll see y'all later on tonight. Okay? Peace.